Hi, everybody. I'm back to doing normal person streams at normal human hours. And yes, it is FreeSpace. I left my playthrough to the very end of the year, like I tend to. Hey, Tara. Yes, so one of my redeems might be extra useless because that is what I will be talking about for basically the end of the year until the end of the year. Oh, that's the whole stream is this redeem. You get it for free now. Um, but yeah, if you don't know me, this is my favorite game series still after 20 years. And I'm gonna spend probably like a week and a half talking about why. Okay, let's go, and it's a void because FreeSpace does a thing, and God is probably gonna be loud. Yeah, let me know if I need to turn this down because the reason we gotta watch the opening cutscene that literally starts when you turn the game on is because this is the inciting incident of the entire freaking series, all 2.5 games, and they just throw this at you immediately. Oh yes, I should turn the turn the audio down, and I should make myself a mixer for this because this game is freaking loud. But yeah, we just get right into it with terror. And when I was a little tiny Snek, I saw this cutscene and I knew I was gonna be super excited to play this game. It was like a little tiny kid. That probably gives you an idea of what kind of child I was. Let me. I am hyped to play this horror game set in space. Um, and and yeah, I also just want to mention that this is not the original cutscene. This is one person going in and redoing it from scratch. Other than the audio. The audio is original. And it's funny, like, for one person doing this, it's amazing. But I am so used to some of the specifics about the editing in the first, and like the original, that is just a little bit off. Because I was staring at that cutscene for like 18 years or something. And it's weird to see it in high definition. Who plays this game in high definition? Is that it is a thing now. Oh. Damn, I should have changed the bot. Even though the strike is still happening. I am playing the game in high definition. But the thing is, you can still play basically retail, and retail keeps the very old cutscenes. Yeah. I mean, I'm still on strike, so technically it's correct. We're voting on the tentative agreement right now. Alright, this is a new pilot. I need to do the important thing of... Where's the... There we go. I need to do the important thing of being a cute girl, even though I will never ever see this, and no one will ever refer to me using pronouns. Oh, and because it's a new pilot, I don't have the wings. Shit. I guess I'm doing the tutorial. I guess I'm doing the tutorial for the goddamn medal, and also because this is an educational stream. We all know I'm a cute girl. Oh, fell. But yeah, this... You can tell exactly when this game is from because of this tutorial. We are gonna step you through what all of the buttons do. Actually, no, we're only gonna step you through a fraction of what the buttons do. But,
Don't touch the controls until told to do so.
So, I'm playing basically retail. This is the one time the little text box above the HUD. This is the one time it gets used in retail. Now the mods have used it for a lot of other things. Because it's a text box, you can do whatever you want with it. But retail, it's exclusively the tutorial messages. And I will be playing one of the, like, modded campaigns as part of my little end of year thing. Because it is not canon, but it's a remake of the one expansion pack for this game. I do like how the first thing that this game does... We're not going to teach you how to move yet. The first fucking thing that we do is teach you how to target stuff.
Notice how the triangles separate. The farther apart they are.
The first button we introduce in the entire series is how do you target a thing? Because, yeah, this game is about flying in spaceships, but the real deal is making sure you have the correct information and then also manipulating the AI to do what you want.
The radar. Friendly ships are shown in green. Hostile ships appear as red.
Oh yes, we'll get plenty of scanning for you, dear.
Using your main flight controller, turn your ship toward mine. Stop when my ship is in your center reticle.
Hi, Chiaki. Thank you. There'll be a VOD.
Good. Now stay in that.
And glad you stopped by to say hi. But this is... So the other thing... The thing with this tutorial is... It's very clunky in the sense of... there isn't anything advanced going on. This is literally just a mission where they're telling you what buttons and like UI elements do. But the thing that I appreciate about the way this is done is it makes very few assumptions about what you do and don't know about how to play this game. Because there's one of the things about making tutorials and why they're so hard to do is the people making them know the game way, way, way too well.
Good. Now decelerate to drop 200 units behind me.
And trying to explain from the ground up how to play this game is tough.
Your speed gauge indicates remaining afterburner power. Note that it is consumed rapidly.
And also because I need to troll Freya. Yes, I play this game with default key bindings.
One is just warning. Good. Now fly within 100 units of it, then come to a stop. Be careful not to fly too fast.
Be careful not to fly too fast, you say. What if I just hit the afterburner all the way there?
Well done. Note that it takes some time to come to a complete stop.
Look, I learned how to play this,
Target CTAC 0.
and so here's the thing about the default control scheme for FreeSpace. All of the targeting controls make sense, and they're like mnemonic for all the really important ones. If I redid the controls, I'd have to find new places for all the targeting controls. And I don't want to do that. So I play default with a mouse because I didn't have a joystick growing up.
The sound you heard indicates the cargo container.
And yes,
Notice the cargo display.
yes, I'd leave the mouse default. So pull the mouse back goes up, push the mouse forward goes down.
Your primary weapon is CTAC 01A. Near the center of your HUD, the hull integrity of your target is displayed. Notice that it is
This is the only game I do that for. There is no other game I can play
override of your
doing that except this game.
Now destroy CTAC 01A.
I hope you like this sound effect because you're going to be hearing that sound effect for a while.
Remember to target them.
I also, again, back to Freya talking about scanning being vitally important. They teach you how to scan before they teach you how to shoot. And as much as this game is about shooting things, it's about so much more than that. Like scanning things and getting close to things and staying far away from things.
Let's see how quickly you can destroy these new cargo containers. Target them and destroy them with your ML-16.
I did get a trackball to play this. I will, like, when I move to a more permanent home, I will absolutely get a trackball just to play this game. Look, I have a joystick. You have even watched me play this game with a joystick.
Good job. Now it's time to leave.
It is me for once. This is the one game that I play the like worst possible way.
Congratulations on your successful completion of Phase 1.
So I will also introduce. It is not Armored Core. I will also introduce one of the running themes for this stream because Frey and I finished Legend of the Galactic Heroes yesterday.
Delivered to the training area.
This is the game where I am Yang Wen Li.
Phase 1 of your training.
Freya in this, like, Freya is Frederica when it comes to this game. I'm Yang. I am the worst possible person to be playing this game with, like, the worst setup imaginable.
Welcome to Phase 2.
So that's one of the themes for this time. Is that I am Yang Wen Li in the can't sit in a chair straight sense. And
Objects in the area.
doesn't do things like a regular person. Yes. Yes, you are, dear. And I love you for it. Okay, um right before I finish this, I want to point out how I am being told how to shoot. We have left control, which, there you go, left control is a shoot button, or joy 0 button 1. Now, this is how you can tell it's the port of the game, not the original game. Because the original game doesn't have the mouse enabled by default. You have to turn the mouse on, and it has a very silly key rebinding system that lets you rebind like 6 keys to the same action. The port changed that by this point, so now the mouse is just a fake joystick basically, and that's why that's why left click is joy button 0. Yes, I play this game because I'm a nerd, and there is no money in me playing this game. And very important, we learn that we don't always kill things. Sometimes we disable them.
You have a targeting control which allows you to target the nearest hostile target. If pressed again quickly, it will target the next nearest hostile object.
The most important, or one of the most important targeting controls. There's like 5 different targeting controls that you need to like play this game on a higher difficulty than like medium. This is one of them. I don't think they tell you what one of them is actually. You have to go look into the control list. But we'll find out. I have made and deleted so many pilots in this series that, like, just, it is tradition at this point for me to have to, like, remake my profile on it because something changes. Either I get a new computer, or in this case they changed the pilot format to be a different thing, and it, when I cloned it, it didn't go super well.
When ordered, you will fire your secondary weapon at drone B.
It takes us an entire extra mission to learn about missiles. And so here's the thing that I wish had gotten preserved about the original game, is that the missile tracking in FreeSpace 1 is atrocious. It is genuinely, like, you will not hit things unless they're moving in a straight, unadulterating line. Who are you, Fel? I want to say you're like Dusty or Poplin. That's my take. Is the person hosting this stream. That is my opinion.
That is all for today's training. I'm going to destroy Drone A. Feel free to join me, pilot.
I also just want to point out with this game in the tutorial, to give you an idea of just how bad missiles are at this point, we were knocking 1 percentage point off of a drone's health. Yes. Yes, the freighters, or at least some of them, have wheels. That is... yes. It's a space trucking thing because it has wheels. And yes, Phil, you're either conscious of how insane everything is or a horn dog. Am I wrong? But yeah, the missile that we're given right now, fucking MX-50, basically can't hit anything and does like no damage. It is literally the worst. It is literally the worst weapon in the game, and I think the series. And one of the things specifically that FreeSpace 1 does that I have an enormous amount of respect and love for is using its weapons and other elements as part of its storytelling. Because we're missing something right now that they haven't talked about. We're missing a very common thing with sci-fi combat space sims. I'm not going to say what it is for now. We're missing something. And we're using pretty junky equipment. Because this is literally all we've got available. Now we're learning about information. I like how they say this is a good dogfighting tactic, and I like never do it. Ah, yes, I have missiles. I definitely have missiles. The fun part. This is the one time we'll actually get any use out of these fucking missiles. Now another thing about... what am I saying? What was I gonna say? I completely forgot when I opened my mouth. Oh, right. Especially once we get to FreeSpace 2, where missiles are actually, like, worth it and good. You can tell how much I've played this on a mouse. Because I mostly use guns. I mostly shoot the lasers. I mostly do the pew pew. And that's because you can shoot pretty damn accurately in this game. And if you have a mouse, you get the precision out of it. And that's why I like the trackball. Because you get the precision of a mouse and a lot of the other features of, like, a joystick.
Congratulations. This completes your basic training. Welcome to the GTA League of Defense.
Yay, we're basically trained. We're basic bitches now. And now we just get tossed directly into whatever the fuck world we're in. And it's been, I'll say, 20 minutes since that opening cutscene. Does anyone remember what happened in the opening cutscene? Because it seemed kind of scary and important. Oh, good. They're just rumors. Ignore the thing that you saw when you turned the game on, please. Don't go gossiping. No more gossip. I'm sure nothing. I'm sure that opening cutscene is not a foreshadowing of where we're headed. Look at the space brick. Look how fucking pretty the space brick is. They did such a good job. Like, especially for the fact that this is a community project at this point, the way that they've updated all the models is, like, genuinely, to me, better than what a lot of, like, professional remasters do. Like, I am really impressed with how well they kept to the art style. And, I mean, some of this is because, this is both an upgrade and a preservation project in a sense. So, like, with all the features that get added, it still has to, like, keep the retail game playing like the retail game. So, like, all of the features that Solaris has, which is the thing I streamed, I want to say, at the beginning of the year, like, all the features that Solaris has, like, are in the engine now, but they don't get used for this. And this still plays basically the same as retail FreeSpace 2. And so the FSPort, in a sense, is like the Homeworld remaster, in that it takes the first game and ports it into the second game's engine, so there's a bit more ease of continuity and maintaining stuff. And that means certain things like missiles are more effective than they kind of are supposed to be, or at least originally were. Okay, we're not using that hot garbage. So, these are the 4 weapons we're going to have for a while. The Dumbfire missile is genuinely the best weapon that we have access to right now. Because it does 15 shield damage, whereas our guns do 3. a whole 3 shield damage. Yeah, it's great. Also, they haven't talked about shields yet. Why is there shield damage? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. Look at how pretty this thing is. This is almost identical to the shape. Just a lot more detail that was on like textures before. It's like this big dish thing, that was just a texture. And it was a lot more angled because there were like 30 polygons making up the whole ship. Oh, I'm realizing I should probably move my alerts because the alerts cover up the text box.
I really wasn't expecting this much action.
Oh yeah, now we can put so many fucking triangles everywhere.
More bandits incoming. This looks like more than a scouting wave.
Hey Darius, good to see you. Oh, you have much to say about old FS1. I'm one of the FS1 apologists. Like, part of the reason I play it and to like almost always in sequence is because I do genuinely like the first game. Wait, you're alive? God damn it. Oh, right, it's talking about FreeSpace 2. It's true, this is not FreeSpace 2, even if it runs on the FreeSpace 2 engine.
Alpha, you stand relief of your watch. Return to base. You did a fine job on your
First mission.
strong sense of duty will serve you
Go us.
gives us little reason to worry. The ships that attacked you in the orb were probably remnants of the Pacific convoy that we hit last week.
Oh no. Oh no, Fel. What have you done? So okay, one of the things about FreeSpace as a series is there's a massive gap between the first and second games. And so one of the other things about FreeSpace 1 is it didn't have a dedicated writer, which if you're reading the text, especially in the briefings, you might be able to figure out because it's super fucking sparse. But one of the things that I really like about 1 that 2 does, but it doesn't do it to the same extent, is just how much the systems are doing the storytelling. And like it's a perfectly acceptably written game. It's not doing anything that complicated. But wow, God. But it's very well told, even if it's a very, very simple story. And there's a lot of like extra things that get there's a lot of extra little details that make it clear that as simple as the story is, there's a lot more going on. I think after this I might go look through the tech database to see if this is the game that talks about how this war that we're in the middle of started. Because we are not the good guys here. Like, the war that we're in is 14 years long and counting, and incredibly stupid. It has been going for 14 years with this technology, and nothing major has been able to happen. And one of the things that I think the tech room points out, which is kind of in the face, flying in the face of what you might expect from the human military. Is that they're not as, like, ridiculously hostile to the students in the tech room as you might expect. And this game, in relation to, like, to its sequel especially, is very much like playing history. Oh, there we go. Yeah, exactly. We're fighting the bad guys, and we're the good guys because surely we are the good guys. Goodbye. Yeah, clearly us, the Terrans, we are correct. Always. And this is the, like, the game itself doesn't have that mindset, but the, like, perspective you get stuck in has that mindset. The movement looks smoother. I mean, I'm playing it at 120 hertz, so and I'm streaming it at 60, so that's probably what helps. Excuse me. Damn, we already got a medal. Go us. Also, Darius, if you want to talk about your thoughts on this game, you are more than welcome to. Oh, good. Advanced training. Oh, right. They haven't told us about how to resupply. That's kind of important. Or countermeasures. because who would have shot missiles at us?
Here comes your first target. Go ahead and target Freighter 01. Good. Now call in some reinforcements. Press the communications key to bring up the messaging window. From there, press the 4 key followed by the 1 key and your reinforcements will arrive.
And here is where we get to what the game is really about:
Make sure you still
management.
on target. Now I'm going to show you how to disarm your target using your wingman. Press the communications key to bring up your messaging box again. Now select 2 to send your orders to a wing rather than just a ship. Then the 1 key to choose Epsilon wing. Affirmative, sir. Disarming your target. You are sending your orders to that wing only. Finally, press the 3 key to disarm target. Observe that your wingman
FS1 was the first game you could rely on the AI in.
attempt to disarm, thus making sure your target will no longer be able to attack you with any of its weapons.
Yeah, they are competent enough. As long as you put them in things where they won't like instantly die, they will actually do what you tell them pretty well.
You will once again bring up the messaging window by pressing the communications key. Next, select 2 for wing and 1 for Epsilon. Roger. Disabling your target. Disable your target. As you can see, your wingmen are
Yeah, so like one of the things
take them long.
that I love about the series
Keep in mind that other targets
is that they never make you feel special. You are just some rando in a bunch of situations. And yeah, like the AI definitely helps with that. Because like while they're not necessarily as good as you, they're just good enough to like to make everything feel bigger than you.
to bring up the messaging window, followed by the 2 key to select a wing, then the 1 key to select Epsilon wing. Finally, press the 1 key to have them destroy your target.
Oh, good job, everybody.
How does it feel to have ordered your first kill? Hope you enjoyed it because I want you to do it again. I want you to order Epsilon wing to destroy Freighter 02. Have you remembered your previous instruction? If you need to, you can look up
I love how much they want you to practice this because like especially the minute you go to like hard, you need to be telling the AI like one to protect itself and two they're actually really really good at killing things like
fun. I want you to order Epsilon wing to depart.
they aren't necessarily the best at protecting themselves, but if you tell like 3 fighters to go kill something, they'll basically always do it. And that's not something you get in that many other games.
Pursuing missile to go after, thus causing the missile to avoid your ship. As you will soon see, this does not always work.
Also because the default AI orders are just to follow you around. Like
We'll be getting practice at hitting a moving target.
you need to tell them to not just follow you around. And that's really like what this whole thing is also about is like, hey, you have the AI. You should use them and tell them like what to do.
In a few seconds, the Neptune will begin to launch a message to you. Once the missiles are incoming, you will
You're still trying to get to 25k? That tempting, huh? Oh, the countermeasures do work. Just not 100% of the time. Generally, when the missiles get close to you, that's generally when I try and use them. Is like once the beeping starts getting pretty fast, that's generally when I use them. And they're not 100% reliable. Now, Freya, the thing with you going for Nick lore is I think you know almost all of the Nick lore. So I don't know if I will say anything that you don't know already. No one else will ever afford that button. Oh, this is... I see. It's excuse me. It's a it's your service for chat, huh? I know, I put so much other tempting stuff in that path. Yeah, one of the things with countermeasures is if you know how to, like, if you understand the, like, missile tracking system in the game, you don't actually need them. At least in this case of, like, a static thing. But, like, in dogfights, they can definitely help. And also, they're more important right now than in the future because every single hit we take goes right onto our hull. Oh, good. Terran intelligence. I sure trust the intelligence people. And like this, so this little arc that we're going to be on for the next like 3 missions, this is the thing that makes the first game like really special for when it, for like, one, not having a writer. Because even though there's no like dedicated writer keeping track of a lot of the things that they should be, the entire game has this focus on like making everything you do have larger implications, even if it's just the war is bigger than you. And there's also this constant thing about logistics. Like, a good chunk of missions in the series are like, go deal with a cargo depot. go escort freighters, go escort like stuff for resupplying things. And excuse me, and it's all of that like makes everything feel coherent even when it's super sparse like most of this game is. Alright, AI, go kill shit. One of my favorite orders is the weapons free order because one, the AI will like go make its own decisions, but also it does actually show off generally how competent it is. Because like the minute they're basically given free reign to set their own priorities, they'll do a pretty decent job. Wow, it's 69%. Your weapons start jamming a lot. Okay. That's kind of impressive. But yeah, the subsystems in this game have some pretty dramatic effects. So all this dialogue that we're getting, if my comm system goes down, we will not get any more dialogue until I get it fixed. Now, what is the target my target's target button? What's that? Alright. We have a dedicated button for unscanned cargo, because of course we do. God, what is the target my target's target button? Like V? Oh, that's V is just target the weapon subsystems. J. Yeah, okay, J, thank you. There's so much random stuff in this game that I just have at my fingertips. From what I remember hearing, the target my target's target button was originally like a debug feature. We are doing so good right now. We are crushing their logistics effort. And there's also these little bits of like morale that just get mentioned. And again, all this stuff just makes everything feel grounded for something, for your other options basically being Star Wars or something that really desperately wants to be Star Wars. Like, this game takes itself very seriously and wants to talk about like bigger things than you might expect. And that's especially true for like the expansion and the sequel. But even at this point, hang on, I will go check the tech room real quick to so that we know who we're fighting. They are desert. This is here is the like main Dune thing that this game does, and it's buried in like the tech room description. Hey, you're fighting a race of like desert nomads who like poetry. It's complex and hard to navigate for dumbasses like us. Yeah, the Terrans fucked up and pissed them off because we didn't understand their culture or try to like do anything right. And now there's a 14-year long war. It's like this is the sort of thing where they could have made them generic alien bad guys. Oh, really? So, like, they actually. So, they're not just bullshitting with, like, how they talk about, um, the Vasudan language. Because I think they talk more about that part of it in, this second game's tech room. But yeah, nothing here is evil. Okay, yeah. Right, right.
Terran Command has informed us that Lieutenant Alex McCarthy, formerly stationed on board the GTD Intrepid,
So like they did enough
unknown number of
research
personnel. He has also managed to steal the
to not just pull something out of their ass, is what it sounds like.
Sudan agents under Terran control have leaked information regarding McCarthy's plans in the Pacific. In Antares,
Yeah, like
to lead an attack on McCarthy's forces.
this is still such a game that's like we just want to do things that we find interesting and inspirational. And they made something, one, that's very unique by itself, even if it's in some ways like a weird mishmash of Star Wars and Babylon 5. But like there's a lot of very clear like someone really wanted a particular thing to be true and they just did it. And like, okay, we also have someone or I think at this point, multiple people on this team really, really wanted espionage to be a thing based on a couple missions in. We already have like, oh, there's spies in the spy agency, there's relations between the Terrans and Vasudans are more complicated than stuff looks on the surface. And then we get an entire expansion that is like you in the intelligence agency. And then there's all the spy missions in the sequel. Like, someone really wanted to, like, portray military use of spies and intelligence agencies well. Because you don't see that often. And, like, they pull off stealth in a fairly simple space combat simulation. Like, not necessarily the actual stealth missions, but when they want you to do, like, actual spy work, they do it in such a way that, yeah, that was someone's obsession while they were working on this, I have to believe. Because there's just so much of the, like, things are more complicated because of other people having more information than you, but it being stepped on because you are just soldier, you don't need to know things. Oh, right, also, don't worry about killing these people. They are traitors and deserve to die. Now put a pin in that for when we start this mission, because yeah, thank God we have the interceptor made out of paper, because the Vasudans are the least of our worries. And the man we are told to capture is telling us he answers to a higher authority. Now you could read that as like he's got morals and shit. Or you could read it as he's being ordered to do a couple things. Exactly, that's totally what a student traitor would say. So now the other thing I want to point out about, like, what our orders are. Half of our fighters have disruptors on them. We could just take all the humans prisoner. Like, we could just disable them and wait around for a support ship. Like, that is absolutely a thing we could do. But we don't. We kill them. Rasputin, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, have fun on your date, Fel. God, I can't even see what I'm hitting with all this fire. There we go. But yeah, like, we could absolutely capture all these traitors and interrogate them, but no, we're told to execute them because, you know, why not? They're traitors. We are only told to capture our boy McCarthy over here. Everybody else is expendable. So the Terran military and Terran intelligence are sure up to some shit. That's my read of all this. Because especially if you're in like a war of attrition, why are you killing people who you could get information from unless you know, want to keep certain things quiet? Like how much people know about anything in particular. And so yeah, you're a part of this like racist, jingoistic as fuck military. And okay, so the thing also is like I have a vague fondness for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is like a military sci-fi shooter that's at least like competent. The thing about it though is like I decided to like turn it back on like last week or something, and the funniest thing about it to me, oh, hang on, hold that thought.
Ours was a proud people, and always the strongest. For thousands of years, our empire expanded. For so long, we could imagine ourselves alone in the universe. For so long, never did we imagine advanced life. And we traveled faster and farther, spreading in our galaxy. And before long, we could see the day when our reachable systems would have been exploited. And then there would be nowhere else to go. And we discovered subspace. It gave us our galaxy, and it gave us the universe. And we saw other advanced life. And we subdued it, or we crushed it. In months, the elimination of billions of years of evolution on a similar but slower path. With subspace, our empire would surely know no boundaries.
Well, that was weird. Someone talking about how effective they were at imperialism. Surely this is just something they're trying to do to be like clever. It's funny because like the monologue cutscenes in this game are way more disconnected from what's going on in certain ways than the FreeSpace 2 monologues. But, and this is something I am in the process of trying to write a paper about. The thing that both of these games do, the thing that both retail games do that is really cool, is that they are mostly built in such a way that they want you to not take what you're being told at face value, like, ever. And the cutscenes in both games are a way to, like, push you into that more. And in this game, it's a little less elegant because they're doing more of a standard cosmic horror story. So you have the, like, this thing that seems out of context at first, and it doesn't quite do it super well because of just how out of nowhere it comes. But they are placed deliberately, as we'll see. And also, this is, like, my favorite mission. This is one of my favorite missions in the game. For everything it does and all the things that it doesn't do, too. And if you've played this or know this mission, you probably can guess why I like it so much. And if you've never seen this game before, well, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. And it's gonna be depressing. Because that's what this game is. It's all of those things.
Affirmative, sir. New hostiles in the area.
All right.
Excellent job, pilot.
Oh yeah, they're spinning. God, what is that thing called? Yeah, I think it's just solar panels. Yeah, it's not a gravity thing. And this is the one ship that does this. I think specifically because of all of the problems that arose from them putting a big piece of moving geometry on the ship, which is that if you get hit by the solar panel, you will, like, instantly die.
The Taurus is warping it ahead.
So, yes. And yes, trans girl skirt goes spinny. Trans girl solar panel goes spinny. So I guess that confirms that the Faustus ships, as we know, all ships are women, but the Faustus class ships are trans women. Huh. Unknown ships, you say? Didn't you tell me that wasn't a thing, Command? Isn't that a thing we were told to forget about?
Unknowns are attacking the Vesudans. Alpha 1, get a visual identification. Do not open fire.
Well, they're helping us out. That seems fine. Yes, it's this mission. Like, they tell you exactly what's gonna happen,
Visual confirmed. Intelligence will want to see these sensor logs.
and then they do this. And it's great. It's amazing. And, like, this is the thing with tragedy as it exists in, like, the current media landscape. People have such, like, and I'm not going to spoil anything about other stories and whatnot. Especially Legend of the Galactic Heroes, because it's on my mind and there's stuff that I certainly would love to talk about, but won't, because people should watch it if they haven't already. But the thing with Tragedy is it's effective partially because they tell you what's gonna happen. And this is important. So, this is a thing that we haven't seen before. Energy shields. Ain't that a bitch? And our guns do jack shit. Oh, you son of a bitch. I do hear that hull damage every so often. Whew. There we go. Oh yeah, the shield effect is fairly new. I want to say last 5 years. But yeah, they did a really good job with the updated shield effects on the Shivans especially. So, we can, in fact, kill these unknown ships. But I want to point out a couple things. Specifically, how long that took. And it went through most of... Excuse me, it went through a very good chunk of my missiles to do that. And that was one, parentheses, one fighter. That is bad. That is worse than if I couldn't kill them. Because they are killable. Just, they are killable just so badly and so hard that they might as well not be. And hey, I was the first one to do it. Now I'm special. Okay, don't lean that far back because I go out of the camera's field of view. Got it. Hey! We helped, even though we horribly failed. Although the other fun thing about that mission is the Shivan weapons are not actually that good. You might have noticed that both the cruiser and the science cruiser in that mission, once they hit a certain point, their whole integrity just got deleted. So yeah, the Shivan weapons are not in fact that good. At least the ones that they had in this mission are not that good. Oh, Streech. Thank you for the streech. And I will drink something too. Alright. Time to go forward.
Terran Command has confirmed the existence of a new species. So further contact is established, command has designated them the Shivans. The Shivans have inflicted heavy casualties on both Terran and Vesuvian forces, and Vega systems.
There we go. Now, come on. Track.
Along the Terran-Vesuvian front.
Thank you for the drinkies too.
And Ross 128 system. The Vesuvian government has contacted the GTA and proposed a ceasefire.
Hey, it's time for a ceasefire, finally.
Not come as a surprise. Terran Command has not yet responded. Expect to hear more from Terran Command on this later.
And we haven't said anything yet, because
All Shivan
Terran Command is a bunch of fucking racist fascists. God, I love this game.
failed. Intelligence will continue its attempts to learn more about this new adversary. What little information has been learned about Shivan technology concerns their fighter shielding system. The shield system has been
Nearly impervious. Not entirely, just mostly. And that's, yeah, that's the thing that I love. Is they make them so hard to kill that it's basically not worth it, but you can kill them. And that gets at the futility a lot better than just the hard, you can't damage them. And again, with like the way this game is built to encourage you to like think about stuff with all the big text breaks it has, it wants you to sit there and think about how long it took you, if you even managed to kill one of the Shivan fighters, just how long it took you to do that and how many resources it took. Because yeah, stuff's bad. Stuff's really bad. And hey, this is another one of my favorite missions. If for no other reason than the simple audacity of the fact that it exists. It's if you've never played the game before, this mission is absolutely perfect as a follow-up to what just happened. It's great. I love that they put this here. Even though it's literally a shoot rocks mission. Because after what happens, this is the thing that really drives it home. Like we're sending our big fuck off space brick through, like sending the big fuck off space brick through an asteroid field is preferable to literally everything else because of what just happened. Is great. I love it, even though this mission is boring as fuck when you've played it multiple times. I love this. I love this game so much. Let's fly some more paper. Mainly because their missile banks are actually placed okay. Because here's the thing about the Apollo. Everyone shits on it because it's the first thing you get and it's not very good at anything in particular. The real reason it sucks is because its missile banks are not in a good place. They're really far off to the side and they don't hit things well with the dumbfire missiles. That's why it's so bad early on. And then it's bad later because it's old and doesn't have like proper weapon compatibility.
Asteroids on a collision path with the Galatea will be auto-targeted
Also,
on your HUD.
this is another mission that got... This is one of the missions that got nerfed in the port. Because for some reason, like... the way that it's... the way the engines work slightly differently. The asteroids are not as dangerous in the port versus the original, and I thought I was crazy. I thought, oh, this, like, my memories of this are this way because I was a little kid who, like, barely knew how to play this game. When I was little, and, like, surely that's why the original engine version of this game, this mission is so hard. No, it's because I think it's basically the Galatea doesn't help you at all during this.
More rocks incoming. Help me out, Alpha One.
So, like, your big, cool space brick can literally be annihilated by rocks if you don't do anything in the original version. Oh, shit. I think it might also be, like, hull integrity values or something. Oh, the time to impact is new. That's a nice feature. I don't remember that being here. Yes, more scan information. They're real upgrades to the game. More things to scan. I blame Star Wars for why every single game ever that is set in space must have a dense asteroid field in it. Motherfucking Dead Space 1 has an asteroid segment, I assume because of Star Wars. And every FreeSpace campaign has to have an asteroids mission because of this mission. It's the law. But yeah, like, from what I remember, by this point in this mission, in the original engine, the Galatea would be down to like 50% hull integrity. Just cause of how much damage the frickin' rocks did. And I've said this in other places, but the other thing that this mission is here for, other than being like a pacing thing, is also to give you the sense of, like, the full sense of scale to everything. Because, like, the ships in this series are big. They are really fucking big, and you get to fly right next to them. Hey, we got another one. Where's the other one? Ah, there you are, you piece of shit.
Entering subspace now. See you in Beta Sigma.
Well, now I can't kill it. We can kill one. We can kill one of these without resupply. I have no qualms of firing my missiles at the capital ship. Yeah. The Galatei will be fine. Even though like literally every single thing in the game can kill a giant capital ship, it was fine. Everything was fine. Oh, here's the thing. Hopefully, you could hear this little bit, and I'm out of focus. Let me move my camera slightly. Come on, focus. Please focus. Thanks, VTube Studio. But we got a new CO with a new voice actor because we're on a different ship. And now we are on a different ship with a different main menu. Because of course we are. Of course the ship we're on changes the main menu because it is the ship docking bay. Like, of course that's how that works. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do... Oh, we don't... Right, we said we haven't targeted anything yet, so we don't know what we've been fighting. But yeah, this is a small detail that I really, really like about both of these games. And also, Silent Threat Reborn and a bunch of other community-made stuff all uses this same thing of changing the main menu based on what ship you're on. And it's a really nice way of making the whole game feel like it's telling the whole game is telling you the story, not just when you're in the campaign room. Because they also tell you, like, fairly regularly, oh, go look at the stuff in the tech room because, of course. And like one of the other big things with it is it changes where all of your buttons are. So like until you get used to it, it feels foreign. And in other games, they make it feel even more foreign. But yeah, it's just like all of these little things, all these little details really add up, and make the game feel really, really unique and really well thought out, even if it was a bunch of people just having fun with their own interests. Hey Freya, it's cargo scanning time. It's one of many pure cargo scanning missions in the series. I need to move my camera, I think, because it keeps not picking stuff up right.
Further reconnaissance indicates another container group may contain parts of Steven's sensor array.
It is a good verb in yeah, your main verbs in this game are like move, shoot, and yell at the AI. But then when you put the like fairly detailed targeting on top of the scanning, whoop. Thanks, camera. What the hell are you doing? This is what I get for upgrading my monitor, is a camera that is not happy. Come on. Come on. You can retrack. Maybe I should just get it. I need a new phone anyways. Maybe I should get an iPhone so I can stream better. Come on. Pick me up. There we go. Okay. Are you gonna stay picking me up? Oh, it is dark. Let me turn the light on. Okay. Yes. Much, much better. Thank you, dear. As I roll over my cord. Yeah, that seems like it's working better. I still probably should get a new phone anyways.
Yeah, this doesn't feel right. Maintain radio silence, pilot. You have a job to do. Steven wing arriving. We've got another one.
There's a fun detail about the way this mission is coded. Which is the
What the hell is going on here?
the Shivans, other than the sentry guns, are not actually coded to attack you.
Enemy wing just arrived.
They are coded to kill all your wingmen.
Set up. It's a trap.
Oh gee, who could have seen that one coming, Command? Who the fuck could have seen that one coming?
Get to those containers, then get the hell out of there. All sentry guns destroyed. Could one of you fly boys give me some cover?
Cargo. Nothing. And that's how you know this was
Get out of there, Alpha.
even more of a trap. Alright. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for your service. You will be missed.
It is fortunate that you were able to escape the Sheevan trap. Your persistence in obtaining the data we needed is commendable. While you were unable to gather the shield data, another of our IKEA task forces was successful in acquiring it. The data you did gather about Sheevan's sensor technology will be vital in combating the Sheevan forces. Our technicians now believe they will be able to implement a targeting solution for Sheevan ships.
Excuse me. This is arguably more important than the shields. Because... oh, here we go.
Ready? All set. Starting sequence 52 gamma. 5, 4, 3.
Power level steady at 1.21 gigawatts.
Are holding steady.
And sequence 2 in 3, 2, 1, mark. That's it. It held. Reading 59% energy loss, but it held.
Hell yeah. Shields are coming. At some point. Progress.
Military and economic resources the war has caused in the past few years. The end of the 14-year war should bring peace. Unfortunately, there is no time to breathe easy. After the Third Fleet
Hey, there'll be peace, except for all the other things.
voted to declare open states of war against the Sheevan forces.
And yes, the economic consequences of a 14-year-long war. Who could have seen that one coming?
The Sudis calling themselves the Hammer of Light. Hammer of Light appears to be willfully aiding the Sheevan cause, citing some of the Sudan legend about the coming of an all-powerful race. If you encounter any HOL forces, you are to treat them as hostile and are to use any force necessary to neutralize them.
And of course, there's the Doomsday Cult.
Gathered by the Galatei
Of course there is. And importantly, is the Visudans who have this Doomsday Cult. Because surely everything with the Terrans is fine, right? There's nothing weird that's been happening. It's not like we've had people fighting over this weapon prototype about whose side to keep it on or anything.
A strike squad sent from the Fifth Fleet into the
Don't worry about all of that. Don't worry about what the next 2 games are about. I wish... one of my main disappointments with the retail FS1 campaign is that they don't do more with the Hammer of Light than they do in it, but it's also a really interesting balance they end up striking with the Hammer of Light versus everything else in the series that we'll get to.
At roughly 1400 hours, a large convoy carrying one of our newly developed shield prototypes was deployed. It was expected that the Sheevans would attack the convoy. The Sheevans destroyed the convoy. What the Sheevans do not know is that
Excuse me.
there were a total of 4 working prototypes, only one of which was destroyed.
My favorite thing about this mission is just how fucked up this idea is
You should think you're just another shipment headed for Beta Cygni.
we're gonna take all of them at once.
Should divert the Shivans from our true intent.
We're gonna take all the goddamn prototypes at once.
Escort them on the second leg. Do not leave the freighters until they have jumped to the Beta Cygni system. The Shivans have hit everything sent from this installation. Expect resistance. Many pilots
Yep.
lost their lives.
All the eggs in one fucking basket because of course.
Dismissed.
Like, they've hit every convoy out of this. Why are you sending all of the, like, most valuable technology in existence at the same time? Like, what the absolute fuck commands? Like, what galaxy brain absolute fuckery is this? Now, we're gonna see if I can do this. Because this is one of the hardest missions in the game.
Affirmative, sir.
And you have to use... This is a mission where countermeasures are actually really, really important. But not for saving your ass. They're important for saving the prototypes. Because the Shivans shoot a lot of missiles. And the thing with countermeasures is they can distract any missile that's around them. Not just So yeah, you're gonna see me do a lot of countermeasure spam and missile spam.
Support ship being deployed.
Please rearm me because, God, I've already burned through like all of my fucking missiles. And now please don't spawn anything.
The hammer of light has arrived. Please assist. We are damaged and do not stand a chance. Rearming complete, sir. Sir, should we assist? Our orders are to escort Theta.
Should I do the thing of have the support ship follow me around? Because it will get stuck over there and I will need to like... Alright, here we go.
Additional wing is targeting the cargo.
Oh, we're at 57%. Jesus Christ.
Roger, sir.
31%. This fucking mission. I have played this mission so many freaking times, and it is still one of the most stressful goddamn things. Like, hurry the fuck up, please. Oh, God. Fuck. 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 God, 1 fucking percent. I think there's, yep. There's one more wave. Please rearm me. I need countermeasures for this. Thank you for the pat. God, it is so rare that I've had the first one. The first one be the basically dead one. You've driven cars that were at 1% integrity. Yeah, God, I've seen pictures of your old car. I'm glad you have a different car, because... obstructed.
Rearming sequence aborted. Roger, sir. On our way.
Still flying. And like, you can see also like how much more reckless I'm being with this. Okay. So I am gonna do something.
As soon as we reach the jump point, you will take escort. Till then, Alpha and Beta have guard. Roger, trust is to the return. Rearming sequence aborted.
That wasn't aborted, it's fine.
Beware turrets. There are members of the Hammer Flight.
Fuck you all to hell. that last one. It's always that last one. God. Literally right at the end. Excuse me. So now you can see why this is like one of the hardest missions to do perfectly, I assume, because you have this ambush right at the end. And the other thing about it is, for some reason, the way the ambush works is dependent on you scanning all of the cargo from the previous mission. If you don't scan a particular container, I think it won't trigger the fake escort. They'll just come in and attack. And I have no idea why that is, other than like it has to do with them having already figured something out.
Cargo has made it to arrivals. Return to base.
Yeah, like FreeSpace 1 has a little bit more branching involved in the way it works.
Well done, pilot. You were able to get 2 of the 3 shield prototypes out of harm's way and off to the scientists back on Earth. Your efforts today will certainly even the odds a bit with the Shivans. Great job.
Yeah, I think the implication, and this is probably a real stretch, I think the implication is if you discover that there's containers with nothing in them, that the Hammer of Light somehow is involved with the Shivans. I think that, and I'm really stretching here, but I think that's the logic I see behind it, of like, oh, if you discover this piece of information, they will have them act a little bit differently. Also, if you get, it is possible to get all 3 containers. I am not going to do that because it is a drag, as you can see, because it's very dependent on how well the countermeasures work.
On the new shielding technology. Shields are being added to all fighters.
But I've done it a fair amount,
You will be instructed on the use.
and I am tired of trying to do it.
In addition to the new shield technology, the new interceptor aspect-seeking missiles are now available. They are more powerful than the MX-50s, but require a lot
Hey, bunch of new technology.
learn how to properly use them.
Although we don't actually get to use the aspect-seeking missiles for a bit.
The shield is an important addition to your ship, and the interceptors are a formidable addition to your arsenal. You must learn how to use them well. Alright, first we'll cover use of the aspect-seeking interceptor missiles. Note that you are fully equipped with interceptors. Unlike heat-seeking missiles such as the MX-50, you must acquire a lock on your target in order for an aspect seeker to halt.
So the missile lock sound effect is something I've heard somewhere else, and I can't remember. It might even be in Babylon 5,
Aspect seeker is well worth this effort, as its homing ability
because I've heard that particular sound effect somewhere else,
aspect seeker will track its
and it
anywhere in space.
immediately jumped out as like, oh, it's the FreeSpace missile lock sound. So, yeah, y'all will hear this a whole lot.
One is now
We have finally given you real missiles that aren't just rockets.
A round of interceptors can be fired every 3 seconds. Fire another round and note the countdown timer in your weapons gauge.
And the bigger the missiles are, the slower they can be fired.
Fired before lock has been attained. This is a crucial difference between the interceptor and the MX-50.
Man, you are trying so hard to make the MX-50 seem like a viable fucking option when it's really not.
Weapon subsystem on the freighter. Good. Now wait until you have attained lock on the weapon subsystem. Now, fire your interceptors until the weapon subsystem has been destroyed. Well done. Note your interceptors will be effective in destroying subsystems on large targets. Now unload your interceptors until you've destroyed Freighter 1. Excellent job. Now it's time to destroy some moving targets.
Kaboom. Yeah.
Gain aspect lock on a moving target. You must keep the target's lockbox in a fixed location inside your HUD reticle.
I was gonna say something and I forgot because I'm still tired.
I will now call in fighter drones. When the first drone enters, target it and
But it is funny to me that they give us this tutorial early compared to when we actually get to use them.
once you have acquired lock, fire an interceptor to destroy
Yes. I have that beeping sound burned into my brain. Too beeped to think. Exactly.
Well done. Now let's try something a little more difficult. Wings of 2 drones will appear at once. Destroy them all.
Destroy all of them.
Note that you'll need to be in range of these drones before you can gain aspect lock. Fly toward them.
I remember them selling you so hard on the Interceptor being a good missile in this game and being so disappointed in it in like the retail original engine version just because like it was nowhere near as accurate as this missile is. It is not the like scariest homing missile that they've made. There's a couple missiles in the second game that have much scarier trajectories attached to them. Because like one of the reasons the heat-seeking missiles are so bad is they go for the engines, which are almost always in the back. So they're always going past like the center of mass.
However, it automatically regenerates itself over time.
Whereas the thing with some of the aspect missiles is they will lead targets a lot better. The missiles in FS1 don't quite do that, but there's a couple missiles in FreeSpace 2 that almost always will hit something just because of the way they calculate their trajectories.
Note the front of your shield is flashing as if you've taken damage.
Shields! Yay, shields!
Note how the gauge changes as your shield takes
Sadly, I never...
destroyed.
There is one button that's really important for shields. It is the last button they talk about.
Note that your shield automatically recharges over time. I will accelerate this process to save time. Now observe as the front quadrant of your shield repairs itself to full strength.
I love watching gradients fill up. It's great. Super exciting. Super exciting gameplay.
Full strength. Next, we'll cover shield.
I hope y'all in chat are doing good.
There are a number of ways you can manage your shield. The simplest is the equalized quadrants.
Yeah, I don't play with the directional stuff that much.
I have damaged your front shield quadrant again. Now use your equalize quadrants function to repair your front quadrant.
Because some of this is like you're often
Note that your front section has been
like I have found I fly in such a way that I'm never like in a position long enough to make like
note that 3 of your 4 quadrants are 0 strength.
make the directional stuff matter as much. I will sometimes do it on bombing runs,
Maximize shield strength in a specific quadrant.
but it's not as useful as they try and make it seem.
Well done.
Because, like,
Quadrant is at full strength while the others were drained.
the times I found it useful is, like, bombing a capital ship is either all the way front or all the way back. The rest of it
Utilizing your front shield quadrant is especially useful when you're attacking a large ship.
is super finicky in terms of, like, where you're actually getting hit in a dogfight.
Now I want you to maximize your rear shield quadrant. If you're pursuing an important objective and are being attacked from the rear,
And equalizing tends to get you most of the way there anyways.
well done, pilot. Aspect C,
Oh, shield frontage's primary element.
use them well. And proper shield management can make all the difference in a crucial battle.
Yeah, so like, and I think some of it is
This concludes your training.
dogfights in FreeSpace are a very strange combination of like jousting and turning battles.
Congratulations, you have completed your training.
Yay, I got fancy wings. And because they're this combination, and a lot of stuff ends up turning into like a turning fest,
Been conducting many surprise attacks on convoys throughout Beta Cygni.
it's not always as obvious. Like, you're often getting hit on 2 or more of the quadrants at a time. So, like, directing it while also managing everything else isn't quite as important as just making sure everything has some amount of coverage.
Class fighters as well as an
You know, like, it definitely is more useful on bombers, I've found, than, like, dogfighting.
Your primary objective is to capture the Aten cruiser Ramses. You are to disable and disarm it with disruptor.
Yeah, like, if you'll probably see me do it
Capture it.
with some of the bombing stuff that's coming up.
The Ramses. The crew of the Ramses will be interrogated to learn more.
But yeah, like, for me especially, it's an afterthought, and it's more of an afterthought as you lower the difficulty, because one of the way this game manages difficulty is
Store of the student supplies useless.
you get a bunch of bonuses to weapon charge rate, shield charge rate, and I think afterburner charge rate
Shielding system. In case of any unforeseen problems, await further
compared to the AI. And basically, as you up the difficulty, the main thing that's happening is you're being brought closer and closer into parity with everything else in the game. And I forget what the like actual numbers are with things. But once you get onto insane difficulty, then managing the shields is more of a thing, and it can save you a lot more frequently. But equalizing tends to be one of the better, just basic things you can do. And we gotta have a little bit of a power trip now, fighting these death cult people with our shields, which means we can last a whole lot longer.
Enemy wing has just arrived. This is odd. Sensors show shield systems on those Virgo Hammer of Light ships.
Well, that ain't good.
Fire on your tail, sir. Roger. Regarding your target. Watch your back, sir. Yes, sir. Disabling target.
You all are gonna die if you go over here, which is why I'm gonna go over here. But yeah, like, I'm playing on medium, and one of the things is because you have the shield recharge bonus, equalizing tends to keep you safer than like front stuff. And especially when you're in like a tiny little fighter like this, you actually can dodge a little bit. Oh, Equalize was also really good in those. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, it gets you... It frequently gets you, like, faster results.
Alpha 1, do not engage the Tyrannus.
Shivans are attacking the Ramses.
Oh, don't engage the Shivans again? Of fucking course. Thanks, Command. It's a little hard to, you know, not engage the cruiser that's like right here. God, the Shivan turrets hurt. The, like, Terran and Vasuden turrets.
Cargo depot successfully destroyed. Roger, disregarding your target.
Now, another funny thing about this game is that the best, most consistent weapon in the game is the one that we've already gotten. The Avenger is the most balanced primary weapon in, I think, the entire series. Because it has a pretty good rate of fire, it does a pretty good amount of shield damage, and it doesn't use that much energy. And also it can be loaded onto like every single thing in existence. It also has slightly better range than most of the other weapons in the game. Come on, I want one more kill. Give me one more kill. Fucking Scorpion. There we go. Oh, another little detail about the Shivans is they have a couple of fighters that don't quite behave the way everything else does. The Scorpion's one of them, and then the like best fighter in the game. They both have this thing where they can move sideways a little bit. They can't do quite pure 6 degrees of freedom, like move along all the axes. Excuse me, but
Morning, pilots. I'm gonna get ready.
they can
Forces are sprouting up.
move in a like weird alien way, and it's cool.
Probably no one is
Yeah,
able to communicate with them, and Terran intelligence.
they can add extra momentum in places.
On the upside, their shielding technology seems to be working just fine for us. By this afternoon, all fighters stationed on the Galatay will have been fitted with them. Try to keep them intact, all right? The cruiser Tyrannus is suspected to be the source of command for the Shivans in this sector. It's here in the IKEA system, and we suspect it's low on fighters and supplies due to its recent attack runs. We have reason to believe it will soon jump to another system.
Time to do something audacious.
There's only one subspace node out of IKEA, and we intend to blockade it. In the interest of learning more about the slippery bastards, we're going to attempt something bold: the capture of the Tyrannus. If this goes off, it will give us an opportunity to study Shivan technology up close and bag a few live Shivans in the process. In order to do this, we will conduct a series of missions designed to take out Inquisitor escorts and defenses. Time to chip away at the boulder, people. That is all. Report to your flight leaders for your orders. Dismissed.
It's also really charming to me that they like have ships be villains in this. Like,
To this end, Terran Command is
there are very few named characters in the series that are like human scale. But you do have ships, and there are quite a few important ships over the course of time.
Athena is our most maneuverable bomber. It carries a massive payload, yet in dogfights,
And they don't do quite as much with it as they do later here, but it's still like fun to have them doing things like that. Like use the medium as much as you can.
prove more effective than the disruptor cannon. The electronic seeking device should make it simple to use. Just point and shoot. Stiletto homing possibilities are limited. Make sure you get a clean shot before you launch. The stiletto should be especially useful in destroying the Tyrannus' engines and
Yeah, like live Shivans are definitely something we want to capture. This is gonna go so right. What could possibly go wrong? And it's like they don't say this, but this sure seems like an intelligence thing of we want to capture live stuff so we can study it and learn its secrets when they haven't talked to us or had any interest in talking at all. Like, this is like one of like I'm glad I went and I looked at the Vasuden backstory info, because it is such a contrast to have a war that is basically just about miscommunication and people not understanding each other's culture and rules, to we have an enemy that we know nothing about, and all they do is they attack us and kill us. And that's why this is a horror game, because there is something here that does not obey the same rules that you do. To the degree that there isn't any possibility that you can like talk to them. Excuse me. Here's the thing, though. The Shivans aren't evil. We just think of them as evil because they are attacking us. And they're closer to being evil in this game based on what we know at the moment, but they are not evil. That's something I want to stress. Is that the Shivans are not evil. Why are you all using this hot garbage weapon? Stop it. Alright, let's fucking go. They made a mistake. So the bomber that I'm flying is not exactly a bomber. It can't actually carry any real bombs. And it goes faster than one of the actual fighters in the game that you can fly. And it also happens to have literally the best gun placement out of every single ship in the series. And it's very funny to me that they made this thing a strike bomber that is much better at like multi-role stuff than basically everything else in the game. And then they spend a whole bunch of time trying to talk about how this thing is like outdated and bad. Because like it genuinely feels like the Terran military couldn't stand how good this particular bomber was and couldn't admit that they'd accidentally made something good. Oh, yeah, they lean very hard into making intentionally bad weapons. Okay, now I'll do the thing I'm supposed to do. How are you all doing back there? Oh, you're taking care of it. Yeah, it's like the reason I respect the ML16 is like a thing that exists is because it is there to show you just how bad the state of technology is. And they do something even more clever with it. Oh, shit. They do something even more fun with it in FreeSpace 2 with the objectively worst gun in that game. Is again tying into that particular game's themes. They never made another ship with this gun arrangement, or this good a gun arrangement. I think because they realized just how good it was. But yeah, there's some other interesting stuff where I think the Avenger is actually a more balanced weapon than anything that exists in FreeSpace 2. And is actually better than the actual mainstay gun in FreeSpace 2, just on like stats alone.
Disarming target, sir.
Because like, yeah, like what you're saying, Freya, they don't even pick like the obvious things to make the military obsess over. Which is really funny to me. Like the military becomes obsessed with certain ships and guns to the point that like excuse me, they make new versions of them that are not as good or fulfill like different purposes. And there's a couple other fun things they do with that, but yeah, they never quite get as elegant in FreeSpace 2 as they do with using weapons for like specific purposes narratively with this game. And that's like really the biggest reason that I think this game, like, from a pure design perspective, like, is still well worth a play, even if it's not quite as polished or thematically interesting as its sequel. Because it's just a very well told, well thought out, well presented story about, like, reckoning with your place in the universe. And it's also the history that, like, informs all of FreeSpace 2, and, like, and this is where, like, FreeSpace 1 and 2 are interesting to look at next to, like, something like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which I know Freya has watched because we just finished watching it yesterday. And I think that was your second time watching all of it. But, like, Legend of the Galactic Heroes is this OVA series plus a bunch of other things from the late 80s that is basically like a documentary about a future war. And it takes a very, like, high level look at a lot of things, which is almost polar opposite to this game. Like, both FreeSpace games are so contained in their perspective and, like, understand that particular perspective and, like, what it does. It's really interesting because it also does a similar thing to Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which is the narrator has a different perspective than the show and the game. Because, like, you're basically stuck in the human military perspective of everything going on in FreeSpace. And that doesn't mean the game condones everything, like, the human military does is good. In a very similar way that, like, the show Legend of the Galactic Heroes sometimes has very divergent opinions about what's going on compared to, like, the narrator. And what the narrator decides is important. Damn, that was not as close to the note as I thought. I think I can get about halfway through this game before I get too tired of flying. Yes. Listen to Freya. Watch Log. Log is incredible. Dogfighting still is dogfighting in a bomber. As much as the Athena can, like, dogfight, it is still dogfighting in a bomber. Time to space truck the tripod ship. And I would almost say FreeSpace 2 is much closer to, like, the tone of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, because you do get some, like, contemporary competing perspectives on things in it. Oh, that's not that. And I would almost say, like, FreeSpace 1 is the documentaries that get shown at different points in Legend of the Galactic Heroes, like, about the fictional future history. Because it's not told in as, like, stylish a way as FreeSpace 2 is. Like, it's very, very cut and dry. And while there's some, like, design flourishes, it's very just moving through the, like, big historical events with very little in the way of, like, really helping you sit there with other things and the implications of what's going on. God, I've gotten 30 kills in a bomber. Just incredible. And just like that, we can go home.
For having attained an outstanding number of
That's the thing that
first capture of a major
got me the ace. Dogfighting in a fucking bomber.
study their technology and learn more about their methods and motives. Meanwhile, feel free to relax for a few days. You deserve it. In recognition of your continuing service to the GTA, you have been awarded the Medal of Good Conduct.
Alright, we already have 2 distinguished flying crosses, and we're a lieutenant junior grade. And that was the first third of the game.
When the destroyers came for us, we attacked. Never had we been defeated. They were like the others. Strange, hideous, resisting, fighting. Only these were not like the others. They did not die. We made our first retreat. We could forgo one system. We left it to the destroyers and went elsewhere. But they followed. They hunted us. They followed us when we retreated, discovered where we lived. For a long time, we did not know why they chased us. They were no ordinary enemy. They did not seek our territory, our technology, our resources. Now we know our crime was sin.
Hi, Fel. Welcome back.
Just received some discouraging news.
Alright, so something we are learning is that these monologues come before big tragedy, big like world-shaking events that tend to be extremely bad for us.
Designated this new class of destroyer Lucifer. Debris from the station is still falling.
So they just came in and wiped out a giant installation. That's great.
Terran and Vasudin fighters and cruisers engaged the Lucifer and were wiped out quickly. Footage suggests that Lucifer was using a new type of shield, impervious to any of our attacks. Needless to say, this grim news
Oh yeah.
the Shivan
We never get any actual
where they wipe out all frontline
hard, fast reality as to what the Shivans do or want. All we know is like everyone else's speculation about them.
At this point, the Shivans have control of
Yep.
Block 128, IKEA,
Gotta go fight the Lucifer. Now, one of the other reasons I'm playing this game, other than it being my annual tradition, is so that I can play more of the mods that are like set in the FreeSpace universe and just like be able to reference things since I've streamed it and will have like VODs and everything.
flail. The flail is quite different from our typical energy cannons. These can solve the
And the thing that I love about the way the Shivans are done is that there is never any canonical single explanation for them. We only ever get speculation, and that also means in terms of like fan work, you get a ton of different versions of them that exist, and like people play into different parts of them. It's really cool. And it also makes them a lot scarier and also more reusable than a lot of like other seemingly unknowable antagonists. Because it turns out sticking to your guns about them like not actually following any sort of human obvious like motivation, it's really hard to write that as a person. And if you want them to stay alien, like you can't, like if you want them to stay completely alien, you can't let us know like why they are doing things, especially like at the scale they are. And this is actually something the second game is even better at, is making them feel at a completely different scale. Like what they care about here is still interesting, but it still is something vaguely recognizable. And like, yeah, the ancients are still speculating, and all we have is that plus like our own speculations at this point. Excuse me. But we know what they're doing, and there's at least a plausible explanation for why they're doing it. But it's still just guesswork. And that also means they can have everything completely change about how they act, and it isn't like horribly out of character. Because they do change a bit between the games. And I do need to mention one of the best like taglines of video games is FreeSpace 2's, which is God, now I can't remember it completely. It's like, I think it's our enemies have returned and they're wondering what happened to their scouting party, which gives a lot of potential implications to what on earth was actually happening in this game. And what we were actually fighting and what they were doing. But we'll get there in a couple streams. Now the
TFR Nelson requesting assistance. Sheevan forces hit our wing. We have taken severe hull damage.
now the important thing is save refugees, which will be a running theme of the entire series. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, Fel. You're sweet. Thank you, Fel. It's true, though. Oh. Yeah, you think it's cute when I'm on my bullshit for like 3 hours just talking about stuff. I do know it by now, but I still find it sweet. And so here's another commonality between FreeSpace and Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which is that they care about the effects of like galactic consequence on the like everyday people. FreeSpace doesn't go into like quite as much detail about it, mainly because it literally like can't, on account of it's a game about fly the shooty spaceships. But you get a lot of mention about what is happening elsewhere, like what the effects are from pretty much every scale. And this is war. There's a ton of people getting displaced because of it. And it only gets like bigger and more focus as the series goes on. Like FreeSpace 2 is even more preoccupied with it. Excuse me. Because war is not glorious or good or a place where you will find meaning. It is a terrible thing with consequences for everyone involved, directly or not. And it's like this, it feels to me, and admittedly this is a very non-scientific sample, the 90s, like the late 80s and the like 90s were a sort of unique time for like military sci-fi, because you have Babylon 5, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Homeworld, and FreeSpace all existing contemporary with each other. And they all have a very like careful eye on the way fascism works and the way that war is bigger than just like the military, even if like their main focuses are the military, especially with FreeSpace. Like, I don't see that much military fiction have the same like emphasis on logistics, or especially not how frequently like refugees are given importance as something that happens because of war. Like, this is a thing that I associate with this game, Babylon 5, Homeworld, and Legend of the Galactic Heroes. There's a very few other things, except maybe like Deep Space Nine, that care about that sort of thing. And Deep Space Nine is weird in terms of Star Trek, because a lot of the time Star Trek only pays lip service to a lot of the stuff in it. But yeah, just this little era of military sci-fi is fascinating to me. Oh, now I should check the tech room. And we're back to the Galate. Okay. This is one of my favorite details out of the FS1 tech room. We originally thought the Scorpion was the best thing the Shivans had. Except no, it's their like basic bitch scout fighter. It's just so much better than what we currently have available. that it seems terrifying. All right, let's go back to combat.
The GTS Asimov and the GTC Ravage are under attack in the
Oh, that's right. This is... I always forget about this mission.
tsunami involving radioactive substances. These substances are extremely volatile. If the Asimov is destroyed, reagents are likely to reach critical mass. Analysis predicts a shockwave of up to 5 kilometers in radius.
So we're working on a bomb out in the middle of nowhere,
It's in bad shape. We need to clear the area.
and
It's out of there.
the Shivans attacked it because of course they did.
When the area is clear, the GTC squadron will jump in and retrieve the scientists. After they have been safely evacuated, return to
So another thing that like all of these things,
waiting in the hangar.
with maybe the exception of Babylon 5, depending on how you look at it, is FreeSpace is very, very fast-paced. Legend of the Galactic Heroes is very fast-paced. Homeworld, in a sense, for like what it is pretty fast-paced in terms of like what kind of story beats it hits and how frequently it does. Okay, we are not using the hot garbage. I do also like this is the introduction to, hey, we can force you to have loadouts. Have like the worst loadout we can possibly give you. I'm working on it, fam. I am not properly equipped to deal with this shit. So I apologize for it taking a bit. Because I'm at like a fraction of the actual firepower I could have. Thanks to circumstances.
We need to evacuate the Asimov. Transports will be arriving soon. Keep the area secure.
The fact that I can take them out is already a bit of a miracle. Yeah. This mission would literally be impossible if I didn't have one Avenger loaded. Like, that is the... I can see exactly what they are doing. And it also just goes to show how freaking important this one gun is to, like, the Terran and Vasudan's ability to, like, fight a war. And this is why our boy Alex McCarthy was trying to give the Vasudans the Avenger, because look at what it does to the Shivans versus everything else we have access to. Oh, the solar panels got busted. Wow, this model looks really good. Like, yeah, damn. They did a bang-up job, whoever modeled this. There's a long... At this point, I think it was quite a while ago, I did a thread about...
Scientists are safe. Clear out the rest of the hospitals and return to the Galatay.
about FreeSpace ships versus Star Wars ships. Because the thing about Star Wars ships is they work really, really well on screen. Like in a movie, they're really, really well designed. In a game, not so much. And it's specifically because they're really hard to see from far away. That they can get lost in like the backgrounds and blackness of space. Like, they're really good mechanical designs for non-interactive stuff, but the minute, especially with like the X-Wing and TIE fighters, from certain angles you basically can't see them. Which, I mean, for like military equipment makes a lot of sense, but for like, for both smooth gameplay and also having like the ability to have like dynamic and still cinematic moments, it's a lot worse at that. Like, a lot of Star Wars designs don't lend themselves to that, because like you need certain camera angles for them to like show up really well or be close. Oh yeah, the hallway fight. This was the coolest fucking thing I had ever seen as a little kid.
Hear that? Contact 30 meters ahead. Form up, everyone. Visual? Negative. I don't. What the hell is that? Oh my god. Open fire!
Oh my god. No.
So yeah, the Shivans were fucking terrifying. And maybe we shouldn't try and capture them alive. Did StarCraft 1 steal that?
Fortunately, we have some new tools.
Because FreeSpace 1 is 1998.
Our first new weapon is the Phoenix 5 anti-bomber warhead. This missile can puncture even the thickest of shields and can also be used effectively against larger targets, like freighters. More details are available in the tech room. We have also acquired a wing of the new Medusa bombers. Though they are slower and less maneuverable than the Athena, they are far more powerful. Once again, full details can be found in the tech room.
Oh, hey, we get a real bomber finally.
The new tsunami bomb is the ultimate anti-cruiser weapon. It's carried by the Medusas. Just a few of these will take out any cruiser. The Hammer of Light Atom-class cruisers are no exception. You'll be using this bomb quite often against major Hammer of Light outposts. Here in the Atari system, we have detected a small HOL base of operations. Your squadron is being sent to eliminate it.
Oh, they were released 3 months apart. Damn.
Jump back to the Galatei. The Galatei will be monitoring you in case the situation gets out of
Now I'm curious what the thing that they both oh yeah, probably was aliens. That was probably why they both have that scene. Okay, this mission is one of the best designed missions in the entire franchise. Oh yeah, there's absolutely no way they could have copied an entire cutscene back then in 3 months. Especially because I have a copy of their little reference Bible, and that cutscene was in there from like the beginning of the game's like concept phase. Probably because everyone was watching Aliens and obsessed with it. But yeah, this mission I'm gonna play is easily one of the best designed ones in the game, because you can have every possible job. You can take any role you want and you'll have something to do. Damn, really? I only have 10 fucking Phoenix missiles? Really? Wow, that's depressing. I guess we're using dogfighting missiles.
What the hell happened to the hammer outpost? I'm reading nothing but Siemens. Galatei, we are in an intense situation with Sheevan forces. Request assistance.
Impressive, pilot.
Engaging enemy. We're already engaged. Stand by.
Oh hey, it's the literal scariest bomber in the game, and it's just hanging out here. Yeah, I am not gonna hand it to Blizzard because of what they were doing with their cutscene tech, but they did invest a lot of money in those cutscenes.
New hostiles in the area.
You're also going to notice that I take basically every opportunity I can to fly the Athena, because there isn't quite anything like it in the sequel, and it's a very fun ship to fly.
Delta Wing has arrived, awaiting orders. New bandits in the area.
Alright. Oh my god. Leave me alone. I want to attack your cruisers. I wish to disarm the cruiser. Or at least hit its weapon subsystem. Oh god, sensor damage. That's bad.
Roger, sir. On our way.
I think this is probably also one of the missions that pushed the original engine the hardest, with just like how much stuff is happening. Because like we got maybe a dozen or two ships all flying around. And like for a software renderer in 1998, it's pretty good. Especially with how like big and complicated some of this stuff is. Oh god, engines. Ah. Yeah, like one of the things I also talked about the last time I streamed this is something that FreeSpace, even from like the very beginning, is really good at, is orchestrating things in such a way to let you get cool cinematic moments that you could see in a movie just like kind of whenever things work out with the way the systems line up. Oh, that disabled that. That's cool. Because like specifically the way the ships explode and how everything is timed, all of it's there to make cool, unique moments happen. Basically whenever the game can manage it. Hell yeah, more promotions.
Hereby promoted to the rank of lieutenant. Congratulations. We are pleased that you were able to suppress the Shivan influence in the Beta Aquila system. Their arrival was unexpected, and battling the Shivans always takes a heavy toll on our forces. Fortunately, we can take some bitter comfort in the fact that they helped us eliminate the Hammer of Light
Yes, that's exactly how we should take this.
GTA space
They helped us with our original objective.
you are truly an outstanding.
Perfect.
In this mission, we will be assaulting a secondary supply and rearming facility under Hammer of Light control. It is located in an asteroid belt in the
More logistics attacks. We will do logistics warfare until the end of time with this series.
recently the transfer of cargo into this area has
And again, like, this is something
appears to be coming from the Ribos system.
it cares so much about relative to so many other,
The Ribos system is approximately 10 kilometers away
especially game
from the means of escape. All
military sci-fi stories.
destroyed before they reach the subspace node. A wing of GTA freighters will come in to recover remaining cargo. Keep the area secure until they are finished. Good luck.
Logistics matters, the game. Exactly. Yeah, this is so very much the logistics matters the game. Congratulations, everything went perfectly. This is Trunit's war. Oh no. Oh no. Here, you all need something. I don't know what, but you all over here need something. I think you all need, well, some of you get missiles. What if I do something silly and give the last person the fucking cruiser attack bomber just for shits and giggles, you know? Oh, that's wild. Okay. You know, let's try this and just see what happens. Sadly, the Phoenix 5 is not a trebuchet. With its... So there's a missile in FreeSpace 2 that has a like 5-kilometer range. And it's such a like meme at this point that I don't know if Darius is still in chat, but it's such a thing to the degree that I know Blue Planet specifically designed some military tactics around the absurdity of having a missile with a 5-kilometer range. Oh no. Comm malfunction. How rude of you.
This crate's about to blow. Calling in for support.
Here we go. Now we're getting some real Now we're getting some real subsystem action. The amount of range wouldn't even seem that useful in a war where interceptors are fairly common. Yeah, I don't actually know why they gave it such absurd range. It's mostly a, like, bomber killer weapon. And the gameplay reason is so that you can engage bombers before they get in range to launch things, which, like, also tactically does make sense. But yes, it is very silly in a world where you tend to engage people at, like,
Keep the area secure until our freighters have
less than a kilometer. There's a so I mean there's definitely stuff in the games that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why does there exist a weapon that shoves fighters around? Like, it's a, quote, tactical weapon, but it pushes things out of range. Like, why on earth would I use this? Because it can make things just as hard to hit if
area is secured. Return to base.
as if they're, like, flying normally.
Excellent work. The area has been secured and no Hammer of Light ships escaped. Your persistence in accomplishing your objectives is to be commended.
Good job. You followed the orders. Thanks, CO. That's great. I think I'll go for a little bit longer and then
The data on the Shivan Lucifer
call it for the night.
intelligence believes the Shivans were tracking the captured Tyrannus cruiser through subspace to the station.
Excuse me.
Intelligence doesn't know how the Shivans tracked the Tyrannus escort, but they've got a team of engineers trying to figure it out. They're also analyzing the shield on the Lucifer. Unlike the shield on the Shivan fighters,
Streech. Okay.
impervious, not merely resistant to all of our weapons. The loss of Tombos Station, the Shivan subspace node, that leaves only two subspace jumps between the Lucifer fleet and the Sudan homeworld. And Masuda Prime. Not only is it the main thing to do, the Shivans gain control of that system. It'll be a short walk to Earth itself.
Damn, we gotta be noble.
While their proximity to Earth is cause for concern,
We gotta do the right thing against these people we've been trying to genocide. Like,
Phibos node and the
shit.
examine them all. It is obvious, however, that they are narrowing it down.
There's those little moments
The Lucifer class
of like
decided
just how fucked the Terran military actually is. The like, I guess we'll help our allies mostly because it's
Command is sending another Orion-class
good for us.
ship to the Antares system to help us with the blockade. For the time being, we're the only defense.
Hey, Bastion's coming to help.
We have two new weapons to use against the Shivans. Hercules Heavy Assault Fighter and the Synaptic Cluster Bomb. You may study these in the tech room. They will prove very useful.
Alright, the Hercules. Excuse me, pretty useful. The Synaptic Cluster Bomb. Excuse me.
20 minutes for your mission brief.
Not as useful. Exactly. Damn, we have to actually focus on our ideals. What is this bullshit?
In order to protect
And yeah, we get to be a chonker now.
data wings will provide
I can't remember. I think this is a two-parter.
nodes were severely damaged in the recent Hammer of Light.
So at a minimum, I'll do this, and then
Knowledgeable. Data wing will
I think if it's a two-parter, I'll play the second part.
The Galatei will jump into Antares, reset its coordinates, then jump to Beta Aquilane. Lately, the Hammer
Because I like this mission a lot, too.
It is your responsibility to destroy all enemy ships that you encounter. After the Galatei jumps to Beta in the Antares system, there you will receive your briefing and move on to your next mission. Intelligence has specifically requested you and your wing for these missions. Good luck, pilot. After the Galatei jumps to Beta Aquilane, you will be contacted by the
We've specifically been requested.
Intelligence has specifically requested you and your wing for these missions.
Oh, good. We're doing the spooks a favor. You gotta love it. Alright. You will notice as I play these games, a trend is to what I like in the ships that I pilot. I like lots of guns. Yes, doesn't this chonker absolutely scream Hercules at you, Fel? But yeah, I like lots of guns so that I can shoot things real good. And okay, actually, the thing that we're gonna do for you all is give you a non-piece of shit to fly, assuming we can actually equip these properly. We can, in fact, equip these properly, so that's good. So the Athena that I have been flying is fucking 10 meters a second faster than this absolute chonker of a ship.
Not much happening here.
But we get 2 extra gun hard points out of it, so who's to say...
Here, Beta.
So who's to say what's better? The chonker is actually a little bit more maneuverable, funnily enough. Even if it's slower. And of course, we need to scan to figure out...
We've been set up.
It's a trap.
So much for quiet patrol.
Ahaha, they're using the ML16s. Incredible.
Impressive, pilot.
Oh, I am right in the path. Yes, we're piloting the gun turret with a couple of rockets on it.
Hammer attack squad jumping in. Protect the Galate.
I know, right? Don't get run over by my escort. Oh my god, it's the truck. It's the literal space truck. These things, like, never show up. But they're hilarious. The Vasudans made a goddamn truck as a bomber. It's perfect.
Enemy wing has just arrived.
See, I'm flying a chonker, they're flying chonkers. It's that kind of mission. Fel, you say that during this mission. I hope you're happy that you're...
Taurus and Cancer are trying to ram the Galate.
I hope you're happy that you're tempting fate talking about things that are good for ramming.
Impressive, pilot. Heads up! We've got visitors!
Thank you, Fel.
Just arrived.
The Mauler is on a direct impact course for the Galate.
Alright. What's gonna die faster, your hull or your engines? That's the real question. God, look at how fast this thing's hull integrity goes down. Whew. I was too close to that one.
Ship being deployed.
I need this because this is a two-parter. Oh god, am I gonna miss? Please hurry.
Alpha 1, stand by.
Please hurry. I wish to be rearmed.
Pilot, stand by.
Don't complete yet. Give me missiles. Damn it. Oh, fuck this mission. Oh, fuck this mission. Oh, this is a good mission to end on because it's set up for... It's a good setup mission.
Flying Medusa bombers and will assist you. If you need further assistance, you may call in Epsilon Wing. Galactic Terran Intelligence out.
Support ship being deployed.
They haven't jumped out before we could reach it.
Yes, sir. Disregarding target.
We've got 4 Sheevan freighters with cargo and 2 transporters.
God. Always with the fucking Shivan cargo. Always gotta fuck with it.
Check your six, pilot.
So one of the things you may have noticed is that I told everybody to ignore... Oh, whoops. Shit. So I told everyone to ignore these transports. And that's because these transports are doing something a little weird, which is just chilling here. And that's because they are the trigger for reinforcements to show up. And they're just gonna sit there and chill until we blow them up, because they are of no strategic or tactical importance. And it's the shit like that that I find really funny and charming about this game. Is like, yes, this is partially an artifact of like the way the game systems work, but they didn't have to tie the reinforcements to the transports like exactly the way they did. And the fact that the transports just sit there is the thing that takes it from being like, oh, this is just a like normal trigger thing. It's like, no, the Shivans are absolutely just fucking with you. Like, they have no reason to do this, but they do it anyways. And it's great. I love it. It's so good. Oh, we gotta hightail it over here, fam, to see the drama. The drama of picking up fucking unknown cargo containers. I love when you scan something and it comes up indeterminate. That's so good.
Transport Dobbs on docking approach now.
This is one of my favorite narrative beats of this particular game. Alright, we're gonna get more cargo because this game is obsessed with the Terran intelligence program is so obsessed with getting any info they possibly can.
Some strange readings from this cargo. It looks like some.
Goodbye.
Using order to dock the Sheevan cargo. GTT Stern, you are under direct orders to dock with the Sheevan cargo. With all due respect, I will not place my crew at risk. Very well. Alpha 1, scan the Sheevan cargo container. Roger. Waiting for Alpha to scan the cargo.
Yeah, please do something that will absolutely get people killed.
Readings on the container. GTT Stern moving into dock.
Normal readings. Yes, indeterminate is normal readings command. Thank you. Like, in what world is indeterminate normal? Like,
The stern has been destroyed.
good fucking going, command.
Pilots, this mission is finished. Jump back to base.
Good fucking going. That is all you have to say about that. Thanks, Terran Intelligence.
We have recovered 2 of the abandoned cargo containers. Intelligence believes analysis will prove useful so that the Stern and Dobbs won't have been lost in vain. You are awarded the Good Conduct Medal for your continuing service to the
Here, we lost 2 transports. Have a fucking medal about it. Like, Freya pointed out to me that they start giving you a lot of medals late into the game. And God, this one is such a shut up. Don't ever talk about this ever again to another human being. All right. Yeah. God. So yeah, I think I've been going for almost 4 hours, and yeah, I think I'm about like halfway through. So I'm gonna call it here because it's late and God, I've been talking a lot. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out with me on my absolute bullshit. I will be back definitely Tuesday. I might stream tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, this has been super fun, and I hope everyone who's been in chat has enjoyed it. And I guess I will look for who's available to raid. Hey, Ari has apparently just started. So yeah, I'm gonna... Fuck, I don't remember how to raid. Raid. Alright, is that gonna work? Cool, that is gonna work. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. I hope it's been fun. And yeah, I will see you all. Oh, did I? Let me try this again. Is this gonna work this time? Oh, whoops. There we go. Now, there we go. Got it. Got it. Yeah, that was the first of... What is this probably going to be? I'm going to say like 5 or 6 more streams, maybe 7, depending on things. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. I will see you all later. Bye for real. All right. Bye for real.